Hello, Dr. Urban here. I want to talk to you about how to lower triglycerides naturally, diet to lower triglycerides, and elevated blood triglycerides in general. So what's the purpose of this video is to explain and maybe give you some takeaways that can put things into focus and actually maybe help you along the way and even save you money. How did I come to this? Well, at one time, like you, I received recently a lipid panel. That's from the doctor. And the doctor said such and such about my cholesterol, high and low, and total cholesterols, but didn't say much about my triglycerides, which have never been discussed over the many years. So what are triglycerides? To understand triglycerides, we need to look at fat. And when fat comes into your body, let's say you ingest fat, then you have a unit of fat, and I'm showing a penny here, and that penny is meant to be a unit of fat. Okay? Now, your intestines break down the fat into basic units called free fatty acids, send them to the liver, and then they're dispensed here and there. But in order to get the job done, the fatty acids, here there are 3 of them, placed on a yellow substance. That yellow substance is glycerol, a type of sugar. You have 3 of them. You have your triglycerides. But once they get into the system, the triglycerides, remember they came from the free fatty acids. You have the 3 here. Remember that they're not free. This is storage triglycerides. It can be coming out, it can be going into storage, but the key is insulin. Insulin binds to your triglycerides, and they are taken, meant to go into storage until used. They can come out of storage, but the excess is taken into storage. So insulin plus fat, triglycerides, is a storage compound. Free fatty acids, remember the single penny? They're excellent sources of energy. And the body would like to use them. But because the body is conservative, it says, let's save the extra, and it binds insulin. And so you understand the connection to insulin and hyperinsulinemia. And we're not talking about the inflammation that comes with too much of this stuff. But anyway, you see that the energy is now in a fat storage form, and there it is, and that's deposited here and there. So when you grab your love handles, when you look at your belly, when you look under your chin, your fat on your rump, or fat inside your body, these fat storage deposits are triglycerides that started out as free fatty acids. So how do you use diet to lower triglycerides? Well, the insulin is made abundant by sugar. There's sugar, and there are also forms of sugar called starches. There's sugar in processed foods. There's sugar in starches, grains. These are broad subject, but very common everyday things you eat. And the sugar relates to the insulin, which relates to the, well, let's store the fat. And so when you get too much insulin, you have, or higher levels of insulin, you have a fat storage problem. It's glomming onto the triglycerides. They go into storage. They don't go in by design and by helpful intent, as long as you don't mind the fat. And of course, they're health issues, so you should mind the fat deposits. So fat is a good energy source as free fat. It's a good depository source of fat. If deposits your game, but if long term, it's not so good because it creates a lot of problem. Remember, now we're combining. So what do? Well, you can cut out bad fats. First of all, you're going to have a basal level of insulin, you're going to have a basal level of sugar, you're going to have a basal level of triglycerides because you have those things floating around. And so it's not an either or, all or none, but you want normal ranges, which gets us back to what the doctor is looking at when he takes a blood panel. He's looking at your, among other things, your blood lipid panel is demonstrating your triglycerides. So I hope I've kind of brought that together. Now, how can you understand that sugar bumps up the insulin, which takes on the fat, among other things, as fat storage. So cutting down on sugar cuts down on insulin, cuts down on fat storage, and if you do it to an extent and continue to do it, it's quite possible that the fat stores will start coming out. In fact, they will, but that has to be long enough, strong enough, and intent enough, that is to say, your efforts. So I hope that helps with triglycerides, understanding your panel. Your blood triglycerides is a way to look at your insulin. If you have blood triglycerides that are elevated, you have a fat storage problem. You just do. I don't know where it is. It could be outside, inside your body, but it could be in your pancreas, could be in your liver, where you can't see it, or it could be love handles. But you have a fat storage problem. When your triglycerides are elevated, the number is staring you in the face. You can also get a blood insulin. But again, if you're going to do something about it, your triglycerides are kind of a mirror into your fat storage issues. So you may want to use that as an indicator to do something. You may be beaten on the head because your cholesterol is up, but you've got a fat storage problem. So I think that's what I want to say now. Subscribe to my channel. Make sure the channel, you are subscribed to this channel, because I may be putting some of this information on another channel just to keep the information from getting confused and confusing. So subscribe to my channel. That's it for now, and be in good health.